You're going to hear some popping in the background because I got the dryer going. I'm sitting in my garage and I've been reflecting on the last 24 hours. And it's all it's been doing is building up on the things that I have reflected on the last 6 months, the last year, last few hours. Now, you guys know I'm a pretty deep thinker. It's because I go within. And the one thing that I've learned about allowing yourself to be transparent, your answers are already within you. The caveat is listening. Not allowing your fears and distractions to sway what you feel inside. 2020 has been very interesting for me. I've come to learn that everyone must do their part. Everyone must take the time to look below, to see what they're standing on and what defines them. And I try to be very astute when it comes to my spirit, my feelings, my understandings, and not to allow my fears to misguide by using impulse to rob me of my greatest resource ever, which is your essence, your time. And I can pretty much say for the last 7 years, I've gotten really good at that. And the one thing that I've also realized that you'll notice certain nuances, kind of like a tugging, that it tends to remind you that action is required. Now, for some, that can be very daunting. For others, it goes unheard. But I also wonder what the cost may be. You look at where you are. You assess where you've been. And you allow yourself to have the conversation to validate your thoughts. Remember, I used to always convey manifestation must start with a thought, a word, and the source of that word. Because it's all spiritual. And I know that we have a lot of skeptics in the world. I get it. There's been a lot of work to convince you to just condone, not accept, but condone what the narrative is. The things that are found outside your door. Because it doesn't matter what's outside your door when you close the door behind you. That is what divine intervention is all about. See, divine intervention doesn't need your permission to be. It was already afforded the moment you took your first breath. That is why you can't see your emotions, but you feel them. That is why it is the living definition of words have power. That is why some, still to this day, are carrying a load, a burden of words once said. Family, I'm asking you just to stop for a second. Just 48 hours ago, almost 72, you were bringing in a new year. And some of you took the time to ponder what the next 12 months will hold for you. And some of those desires came from a pure place. Some other came from wants, possibilities, like reaching for an invisible brass ring. So the question I need to ask each and every one of you, what's keeping you from you? Because when you're able to answer that one proverbial question, you'll realize that a call to action is really a call to self. That's why we've heard through the ethers of keeping it real. We've also seen it in doctrines of to thyself be true. It is one and the same. It is the same narrative. It is the same message. But at the end of the day, what is a message that is not embraced? What is the price to receive the message? See, when you think about those things a little deeper, you might be afraid. Because this may be an inner calling that has been there the whole time. An inner knowing that may have been your strength. The proverbial wind between the wind beneath your wings. You know, you've heard Bette Midler's song. The motivation, the inkling, or the yearning. Family, 2020 is going to be a year that will be breathtaking. It will boggle the mind for many because it will cause you to assess everything. You've heard me say countless times before, not everybody is supposed to know your story. Not everybody's supposed to know your middle name. And unfortunately, not everybody's supposed to hear you breathe. And I said that as a calling to someone. Because what you will find on the backside of that is your courage. And as long as you decide to listen, to be still, your foundation will become strong, unbreakable. And that yearning will be your motivation. And that motivation will be the architect of your manifestation. But at the end of the day, what is being unfolded to you is your story. It is going to be daunting for many. It is going to influence many that you may not never know. But it will countless affect the intended. Yes, granted, there'll be plenty of naysayers saying, oh, you're delusional. You're being too optimistic. You're a dreamer. But what makes your dreams? The same things that is what makes the colors and the tapestries of what you manifest. It is what is found in the yearning and desiring of what you are. And this may be the year that you say goodbye. This may also be the time where you say hello. All these things are under your control. And you know what I think? This is the year that you're going to see the strength found in your smile, because there is only one, just like the rays from the sun. It illuminates anyone in contact, because we're talking about you. So you got a choice to make. Matter of fact, look over your shoulder. You've already known where you've been. You've already felt what it was like. But it can't outmatch or silence the yearning of where you're headed. Congratulations. Because this is the dawning of the new you. And when you realize that, you also understand what you were standing on the whole time. You got choices to make, family. What are your dreams made of? I'll tell you. They're made of you. Manifest and claim it in 2020.